Hi, my name is Herrick Rivera.
My name is Anaya Joyce.
My name is Evelyn.
My name is Odyssey.
My name is Diana Lisa Rizari.
My name is Vanya.
My name is Kevin.
Hey, I'm Davian.
My name is Ronnie Capiella.
My name is Josiah. My name is Roderick, and I'm a youth media producer.
Hello everyone, and thank you for coming. I'm Sarah. I'm a media mentor intern here for the summer. I've always loved anything and everything in the media field, whether it's writing or being creative or editing or anything like that. So this was just perfect and such an amazing experience for me. While being here, not only have I had the chance to work with these wonderful youth media producers, I've had the chance to further my experience and my skills in the journalism and the media field. I've created videos for our Instagram page. Make sure you follow us. I've written stories for our online news page. I've worked with professional cameras and just so much more. Today I'm going to show you my day in the life video, which sparked a series of day in the life videos from us Media Lab employees on our Instagram page. Again, follow us. I'm so thankful for this experience, and to Ismari and Danielle and Darlene for being not only amazing supporters of my educational journey, but we also kind of became a little family. So please enjoy the showcase.
Hi, I'm Sarah, an intern at the Media Lab at NEPM, and this is a day in my life. I get to work at 9 and prep for the day. Here's our classroom. I love it so much. The decorations came out so cute. Here's me and Darlene walking together. We all took a tour of the Republican newspaper. The students got to meet with reporters and take a tour of the building. Then we came back and Dr. Fadia Nordve presented a media literacy workshop. After the workshop, I worked on templates for our Instagram, including the headshots of our participants, and did some video editing. It was then time to clean up. The students left, and then it was time to go home.
Roderick is a youth media producer and upcoming junior at Springfield Honors Academy. As a student and a youth media producer, Roderick loves to learn and expand his horizons in any way that he can. During his time at NEPM Media Lab, he learned many valuable skills, one of those being a stronger communicator. His communication has always been strong, but as a youth media producer, he was able to further his skills through consistent exposure to different forms of media and individuals. Working for NEPM was more than a work experience for Roderick. It was a learning experience. He built good relationships with his coworkers and experienced a good day each time he attended work. On Wednesday, July 9th, Roderick and his coworkers experienced a media literacy workshop from Dr. Fadia. It was an informative and thought-provoking workshop. The video that you will be watching is his experience.
Hello, I'm Roderick, and this is Media Literacy in My Words. This workshop was all about the importance of media literacy and what it is. Media literacy is the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and create media with an informed perspective. We were able to learn about developing and expanding our ability to evaluate the information we consume through media. We looked at the key concepts of media literacy, which are accuracy, bias, fact-checking, framing, representation, and community impact. These key factors all coalesce in order to show how media messages are made, how bias influences what we see, and why it's important to question the accuracy and facts shown within media. Learning how the media we consume dictates the way we treat others and approach life was a very eye-opening experience and made me question the ways of the world. This session emphasized how media literacy applies to everything we consume on our screens, whether it's communicating, how we behave, or simply staying informed. Overall, it was a really valuable experience full of valuable information on a topic not many people are informed on. I came away with a stronger sense of awareness and a stronger sense of navigation through media with more clarity and confidence.
Hello, I'm Ismari. I'm the Director of Education here at NEPM, and this is my day in the life. I came in early in the morning and prepared our space for the students and also for our afternoon Mass Life panel. Here I am answering some emails, setting up some chairs, real exciting stuff. And then our college interns, Darlene and Sarah, came in. Here I am helping Darlene edit a video project she's working on. We can't wait to share that. Soon after that, our youth media producers arrived. We distributed their ID badges, did our daily icebreaker and check-in, just making sure everyone is ready for the day before we get started. During our morning session, we guided students through some research and drafting questions. We will have 4 community members coming in for student-led interviews, so we spend the morning preparing for these. After that, we had lunch, and I had my afternoon coffee. When Mass Live arrived, I got our camera out and took some photos and videos. We had a great, insightful conversation. Great questions arose, both from the media producers and the reporters. We are so grateful to the Mass Live team for traveling to guide the students in the basics of interviewing and helping them finalize their questions before their interviews. Huge shout out to Dave, Nick, Heather, Hatley, and David. And here they are in their breakout session, and we took a group photo, and that was it. See you next time.
Back again. This time for Anaya. Anaya is a youth media producer here at NEPM Media Lab, and she likes to do her makeup and hair for fun. And she also loves hanging out with her friends. She says, this summer, I learned how to record and edit audio. I learned how to design projects on Canva, how to be patient, and do hands-on work. My experience with NEPM Media Lab has been really good to me. It's been such a great experience. My coworkers have taught me many things, and I will keep them with me throughout life. Everyone was so welcoming and worked together well as a team to succeed each task. She will be presenting her interview article with Angel Rios on youth mental health. This overall experience has been so amazing, and she's very grateful for this opportunity.
This is Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab. Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab.
This is Media Lab.
This is Anaya Joyce Calderon from NEPM Media Lab. Angel Rios is the host of the Rally Cry podcast and a mental health advocate. He is also a University of Massachusetts Amherst alumni with a bachelor's degree in construction management and psychology. Rios is originally from New York but later moved to Springfield, Massachusetts with his grandmother. At the age of 26, he spends a lot of his time giving mental health advice to other young people.
I realized there's 2 different things. There's a difference from being alone and a difference from feeling lonely. Right. And being alone is great. It's okay. And I think when you're alone in that moment, you want to feel that and like pay attention to that feeling, because the whole point of being a human is to experience it.
Rios is the oldest of 2, he said.
It's to understand like, I feel sad right now, but why do I feel sad? Why do I feel upset? And ask yourself questions and find other things to do. Go write it down in a book, go for a walk, hang out with friends.
Ask yourself questions and keep your mind focused on things to do that can help. Rios also stated that there should be more emotional regulation classes.
Understanding emotions and talking about emotional ladders, because that's a thing, right? Like the one thing that I would love to mention is that when someone is upset is because before they were upset, they were once sad, right? And so what people do is that when they're sad, they use anger to get out of being sad as a way to like push out of it. And I think having more classes that are able to talk about your emotions and like put some science to it, because there is, right? We have dopamine, we have serotonin, we have cortisol. These are all biological chemicals that are in our brain, and we got to understand that.
So having more classes for the youth to talk about emotions would change a lot, and also to learn how to use certain things that youth can potentially use in their lives. Rios encourages youth to get involved in programs or groups that promote emotional well-being and to surround themselves with people who support their growth.
Hi, good evening everyone. My name is Evelyn and I'm a youth media producer at NEPM Media Lab. One fact about me is that I like to learn about new things. I learned to be more confident talking with others face to face, and I learned how to act in front of the camera. An example is looking directly at the camera while talking. The project I'll be presenting today is a Mass Life article I wrote on Priscilla Kane Howick. She is the director of the Arts Integration Studio. My experience interviewing and writing an article on Priscilla Kane Howick was fun and an interesting experience.
This is Media Lab.
Media Lab. Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab. This is Media Lab.
Priscilla Kane Howick is the director of the Arts Integration Studio, which is a creative makerspace. She's been living in Holyoke for 40 years now, and also for 40 years she was the director of the nonprofit The Enchanted Circle Theater, which is based in Holyoke. Currently, she's a consultant for the Springfield Public Schools. When Priscilla Kane Howick worked in the nonprofit world, she was working about 60 to 70 hours, and so she decided to retire. Yet she wasn't ready to sit down and relax all day, so she started a small consulting firm.
But I wasn't ready to eat bonbons and read all day long. So I started a small consulting firm, and so that's what Arts Integration Studio is.
Priscilla Kane Howick is now working on a program called Truth Tellers Theater Ensemble. They are an intergenerational theater company ranging in ages from 15 to 70. The focus of their theater work is childhood trauma, foster care, adoption, resilience, healing, storytelling, and making positive change in the child welfare system.
One of the programs I'm working on right now is called the Truth Tellers Theater Ensemble. And we are an intergenerational theater company, ranging in age from 15 to 70 something. And literally we have people in their teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And the focus of our theater work is childhood trauma and foster care and adoption and resilience and healing and storytelling and making positive change in the child welfare system.
Last year, the ensemble performed at the Massachusetts State House. They performed for 80 caseworkers from the Department of Children and Families, and so Priscilla Kane Howick wants to go far and wide with this arts and advocacy program. She said she wants to bring the arts to everybody. The Theater Ensemble is a 9-month program that brings a group of people who don't really know each other together. The program develops an ensemble where they learn to really trust each other, support each other, and teach each other.
And the beauty of this intergenerational work is we are all a learning community and learning from each other. And it's very brave and courageous work to talk about trauma, things that have been hard, things that didn't go the way you wanted them to and hurt you. And so to be able to build a community where you can tell your story and learn from each other's stories, you're not so alone.
Hello everyone, my name is Davian, a youth media producer at NEPM Media. One fact about myself is that I'm interested in the field of HVAC and I'm trying to get into that field. This summer I began working as a media producer, learning new skills every day, such as camera work, being on camera, and interviewing. Working in this environment has shown me how to be better at communicating and speaking for audiences. The project I'll be presenting for you today is my interview on Chef Sony Yelder as she speaks on her experience as a chef in the field of cooking. My experience with this chef was a great one, as she even served food and was good at answering the questions I had for her.
This is Media Lab.
Media Lab. Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab. This is Media Lab.
Hello, this is a production of NEPM Media Lab. I'm Davian, and my article is on Chef Sonia and her experiences in cooking. Chef Sonia Yelder has been a Springfield business owner and chef for nearly 10 years. She likes to have her food and goods mostly made from scratch. She was inspired by spending her summers with their grandmother. She uses the skills she's learned to cook for others.
We do some work with churches, like if we have extra soups and things, we do that.
Yelder is one of 5 kids. She was the only one interested in cooking. Inspired her towards this path was her grandmother and her garden where she spent her summers making things from scratch.
And that was part because I spent my summers with my grandmother who lived in the South, and that was her daily routine, and she made everything from scratch.
After spending that time with her grandma, she studied abroad in Europe at Le Cordon Bleu, where she learned French and Italian cooking. Later on, she discovered her own style using her Southern background in her cooking. She says,
A combination of parents, grandparents, school, formal education. I trained in French cooking, trained in Italian cooking, and my roots are from the South.
Yelder likes being a small business owner. She says she wants to be big enough to survive, but not too big that they forget their customers. Also, she likes the social part of her business, saying,
So I think for the size that we are very supportive to community places around us because of the size we are.
Yelder also enjoys giving to the community with food, especially schools and churches. She goes on to say,
We do some work with churches, like if we have extra soups and things, we do that. We've done things with the fire department. We've done, different things with school. Washington School is one of the schools we're probably always dealing with all the time because they're in the area that we're in.
Chef Sonia is an experienced cook, baker, and business owner that wants to bring value to her community. She has drawn inspiration from her grandmother and mother for her cooking style and many ways of doing things within the community. She hopes to continue sharing her food and hopes everyone will try her food one day, saying,
All I gotta say is come, stop in, see what we're about, try us out. You'll be coming back for the rest of your life.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin, and a fun fact about myself is that I like to watch movies. This summer, I learned how to operate a video camera for our Books for Young People series. During production training, I learned how to focus, zoom in and out, tilt up and down, and left to right. I also enjoyed learning new things about photography and recording audio. In addition to learning, I enjoyed being able to walk to restaurants to eat and interacting with my peers. The project I'll be presenting today is about Charles Evans and his 413 Elite program. And it was a fundamental learning experience because I was able to learn at my own pace while being able to try different things to see if they work for me. Media Lab is a good experience because I always received help in areas where I was confused. It was a fun educational experience because I was learning while working.
This is Media Lab.
Media Lab. Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab. This is Media Lab.
Charles Evans and his international basketball team and foundation flew out to Puerto Rico for a basketball tournament this past July. This year, the Junior 413 Elite team and Adult Team 413 Elite both participated in this event. At first, it was only the adult team that had been a part of 413 Elite. He established his youth team this year and said that they were his target because the youth are the next people to enter basketball. And I quote,
I started with the adults, but the target has always been the youth because you guys are next, basically. Like, you guys are the future. And if the information stops with the adults, you guys won't know how to navigate.
Before Evans had his international team, he would travel around the world to play professional basketball for the USA. He played in places such as Switzerland, Italy, and Tahiti. He learned a lot about basketball while playing in other countries and brought back the fundamentals he learned to America to help teach other people how to play with more capability. Charles Evans said,
Your parents is kind of like, it may seem like they're nagging, it may seem like older folks is always saying, da-da-da-da, but that's their life. But it's kind of like they've been through it and they kind of have their regrets, honestly, to where they kind of feel like if I could help just one, especially my own, not make the same mistakes that I've made, they can take it a lot further and life will be a lot better for them.
You don't understand what someone is telling you until you grow up and experience it yourself.
This time I will be speaking on behalf of Vanya. Vanya is obviously a youth media producer at NEPM Media Lab, and over the summer she learned how to take better pictures and use a camera during video interviews. She says, working at Media Lab has helped me come out of my shell, and it forced me to become more comfortable with things that usually make me uncomfortable, like talking in front of people. The project she will be presenting is her article on her interview with Angel Rios. Angel, thank you for being here. I meant to say that earlier. During the interview, she was nervous, but once she got into the questions, she felt more comfortable with the microphone in her face. When she was writing this article, she struggled to start writing, but once she got a few sentences down, she was able to write more easy. Here is her article.
This is Media Lab.
Media Lab. Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab.
Media Lab. This is Media Lab.
Starting your own podcast requires consistency, patience, and perseverance. Recently, Angel Rios visited NEPM to walk us through his process. Rios of Springfield started the Rally Cry podcast after overcoming his own personal challenges and realizing he didn't want to constantly struggle with his mental health. This served as motivation for him to create his podcast. He wanted to show up for himself and the rest of the community by teaching others about the importance of self-improvement.
You know, what gave me inspiration was coming out of my own personal endeavors. And coming out of that, I realized that I don't always want to feel bad, right? I don't always want to feel like I'm not enough. And I think through that, it made me want to stand up for myself because I believe I'm confident and I want to learn more, read books, podcasts, and I love learning. And I think that all coincides of how that gave me the push to make a podcast and just show up for myself.
Rios believes it is important to highlight the people in Western Massachusetts as it shows how different success can look for everyone and to serve as role models in empowering others.
People that are doing things in the community, someone that has their own craft, their own creative work, and let's talk about it. Let's not only highlight you, but what can you give advice for the people? Because there's somebody out there that is looking for help, someone that wants support. And if it can be that one person, then, you know, we're making an impact in that.
Choosing the guests that come onto his podcast is an important part of the process for Rios because he tries to highlight people that he finds interesting. Everyone has a different story, but having entrepreneurs from multiple backgrounds can show someone that you can still be successful no matter the circumstances. When opening up about the struggles of running his own podcast, Rios talks about how it is important to ensure he does not burn himself out while also having the energy to create something that is bigger than him. He says it takes time and it's important to enjoy it.
You know, Angel, as an I, is someone in the community that's just trying to make impact through self-improvement in ways that we can improve our lives to be more happier, healthier, and more healed.
Back again, this time on behalf of Herrick. Eric says, "Hi, I'm Herrick with NEPM Media Lab. I like to ride motorcycles and vacation on cruises. This summer, I learned how to work with professional cameras. My experience working at NEPM Media Lab was really great. I met people who were different from me and had amazing staff who showed me how to use a computer, edit, and talk more professionally with people. The project I will present today will be about the cameras I worked with, how I enjoyed learning about them, and the outcomes of photos that I took. My experience with still cameras and video cameras was great. They were nothing like a phone camera. Using professional cameras allowed me to learn the settings, see the quality difference, and learn how to be behind a camera while trying new angles."
I've always been curious about photography. It's something I want to get into, so it felt good to know I would be doing it for a short time this summer. I took some still photos while other participants interviewed our guests. I used a professional camera for the first time and learned how to zoom in and out and make sure everything was in focus. I also learned ways to frame photos in a way that looked nice. This was my favorite, but I also got to record videos for the book author interviews, which was okay. I'm not really a video photography person, but it was nice to learn how to pan, tilt, and focus on those cameras too. Photography is something I always wanted to do. I feel accomplished and hope I could do this work again with my own camera so I could create what I want.
I'm Danielle, Education Program Coordinator at NEPM Media Lab. Today we didn't have any youth in the station, so I put on my NEPM Dino socks and headed to work. During the commute, I turn into the radio and start my day with the news. Once I get in, I plan out the day, and then I help Sarah, one of our media mentors, finalize the project. Today we're building a set for our book author series in Studio B in honor of Jim Madigan. Turning this unused studio into a media lab space is so exciting for us. Next, I had lunch and I brought leftovers, to try to save some money. And after lunch, we set up more equipment and tested the set. We're getting ready for the youth training next week. And just like that, the day is over. Another step towards building a creative space for our youth right here in the Western Mass community.
Back again, this time as myself. Hi, my name is Danielle Lenore Felton. I am the Education Program Coordinator here at NEPM Media Lab. I have the opportunity to create the experiences that our youth media producers are a part of. We really want our students to learn as much as they can while they are at our station, and I'm glad my team and I can create a meaningful program for our community. I'd like to acknowledge our wonderful youth media producers. When they came in 6 weeks ago, some had interest in media and some thought they were just coming to a typical office. But over these 6 weeks, they learned skills such as photography, multimedia journalism, and video production. I'm so honored to be in their presence, and I'm completely inspired by them and grateful that I've been able to teach them media skills. This program is important because it exposes the youth in Western Mass to different community leaders within the community leaders and the field of media, communication skills, and different out-of-the-box experiences. This is necessary if we want to see public media continue for decades to come. Youth media producers, we will always be a resource for you, so please reach out and come back soon. As you saw in my day in the life, my team created a set for our book author series, which we produced this summer. This was a special moment for us because we had the opportunity to bring Studio B to life, which had been vacant for a number of years. Using the studio was inspired by a project I completed while I was a media mentor intern. Last year, I was assigned a project to highlight people mentioned on the plaques around the buildings. Specifically, I was assigned to the plaque that said, in loving memory of Jim Madigan III on the door in Studio B. Jim Madigan was a longtime journalist and host of beloved shows produced right here in Studio B, such as Connecting Point. Mr. Madigan has touched the lives of many and has even mentored some of the people who still work here right in the station. Mentoring the next generation of journalists was something that he was passionate about. In the next video you will see, the video that you will see next, I had a chance to meet and sit down with his wife, Lena, thank you for being here, to learn more about Mr. Madigan. I appreciate Lena and the Madigan family for allowing us to honor Mr. Madigan, and we will continue to use Studio B while honoring his legacy.
Connecting Point is all about, literally connecting us with our viewers, with the people here who make news, and that's what we really strive to do, to bring people ideas, what's happening, what's bubbling up, what's going to happen.
Jim Madigan was a longtime host of WGBY and a journalist for over 40 years. In 2024, we sat down with his wife, Lena, as she honors his memory 6 years after his passing.
In any story that he did, he wanted to make sure he was well prepared. So if a story was going to air on Friday, he'd be all week, even probably before that week, researching it and making sure he knew all the facts and contacting people that he needed to contact. He just wanted to find out the meat of the matter, what their differences were, why they thought what they thought, and he wanted to be able to explain that to the people so that they could understand why these issues would be important. Integrity was very important to Jim. If you say you are going to do something, make sure you do it. But more importantly, just do your work, do your research, and make sure. And don't lie. Don't promise somebody something and then turn around and do the opposite of what you told them you would do.
People like Jim Madigan, PBS, they provide the necessary clarification every day for all of us in a representative democracy so that we might make an informed decision.
Richie Neal, Congressman Neal, he came in. Jim was trying to get him on the show. I've been working for weeks and weeks to get it. Couldn't get it. The timing wasn't right. The studio wasn't available. Finally, he came home one night and he said, I got Richie Neal. We're going to do this interview with him. I said, great. That's great. I'm so happy for you. I said, when is it? He said, August 20th. And I went, huh? And he said, August 20th. I said, so who's going to cover it for you? He goes, no, I'm going to do it. I have to do this because I've been working so hard. I went, okay. I said, but what about us? He goes, we can celebrate another time. It was our anniversary. So Congressman Neal and my husband had our anniversary dinner together. Just be kind. Be kind to one another. If you can help somebody, do it.
Hello everybody, my name is Odyssey, youth reporter at NEPM Media Lab. One fun fact about me is I know Chinese. Some things I learned this summer are how to record and edit video and conduct professional conversation and interview. My experience at NEPM Media Lab was amazing. I met good people and I learned tons of new skills. Today I will be presenting my interview I did on book author Emily Rumble for the Books of Young People series. My fellow youth producer Davian also conducted an interview with book author Nicholas Day. Emily uses books as a form of therapy for some of her clients. Something that stuck out to me was how she said, sometimes we can't control situations and we have to know we are human. There's only so much we can do and it is important to try and find comfort in this. The experience was good even though I was nervous when I started. I like how she answered my questions and complimented me after.
Welcome to the NEPM Media Lab. I'm Odyssey, a youth reporter.
I'm Davian, a youth reporter. We're interviewing authors from Western Massachusetts about books they've written for kids and teens.
Today I'm joined by Emily Rumble. She is the author of Bibliotherapy in the Bronx.
I'm joined by Nicholas Day. He's an author about A World Without Summer.
To say when people ask me like what is bibliotherapy and how would a therapist incorporate bibliotherapy into sessions or into a healing process with a client, it's really about the way that engaging with literature, poetry, and stories helps us to self-reflect, helps to validate our experiences, and supports our self-discovery.
One of the reasons I wanted to write this story is that I feel like we can be blinded by how much is going around constantly all around us. For some reason, the fact that there's so much happening can make it easy to tune it out. And so sometimes by looking back into the past, a couple of hundred years ago, you can focus on an extraordinary story like this, and then you can see your own present day a little bit more clearly.
This is a production of the NEPM Media Lab.
This is a production of NEPM Media Lab.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Darlene, and I am a media mentor college intern working here at NEPM. Despite being a completely different major, I can say with confidence that working with Media Lab over the summer has been one of the greatest joys of my life, and I could not have imagined doing anything else. I think that a part of me has always bottled up many things, including my ideas, but being here has changed that. I was never shut down for something I wanted to do, and I was never discouraged by my peers. And I think this has fundamentally changed me in ways that I cannot appreciate enough. While I could go on and on about the appreciation I have for each and every one of you, I do want to give a special shout out to our participants, Ismari, Danielle, Sarah, and Liz, who helped me every step of the way on my project. In this project, I was able to cover an author event for Ocean Vuong, a local Vietnamese American author that has since made waves globally. None of this could have happened without the wonderful staff here at NEPM. Thank you.
What exactly is bringing out so many people on this rainy day in Northampton?
I live in Arlington, Massachusetts. The event closer to my hometown was sold out. I actually had to come to this event, which is about an hour and a half away.
Hundreds of fans lined up for the release of The Emperor of Gladness, Vietnamese-American author Ocean Vuong's latest book, for the last stop of his tour at the Academy of Music. Rosman Kreshik-Hayden, who works across the venue at Broadside Bookshop, facilitated the sold-out event of over 800 patrons, ending the tour strong.
I must say that I don't think these accolades are what drew you all here tonight. It is instead the impact of Vuong's words on our hearts and minds.
I started this book with a boy standing on a bridge thinking about jumping. The reason to live is for these characters are not bigger. Sometimes all it is just realizing that you might be more useful to someone else than you ever were to yourself. And if that's the only reason, then that's enough to get to another day.
I'm Vietnamese American as well, and also a refugee to this country. And I think his trajectory, his life, a lot of his insights, I think really gave word to experiences that I have had. I think it is a sense of community, and certainly to know that I can drive an hour and a half away from my home and find that sense of community is great.
Hey everybody, I'm Josiah Pagan from NEPM Media Lab, and I enjoy taking pictures and editing them. During the Media Lab, I learned about Canva, a graphic design editing software, how to operate a camera, and how to take better pictures. My experience at NEPM has been really great. The environment is very fun, and the program helps me with skills I'll be using later in life, such as public speaking, writing professionally, starting my own photography business, and maybe even help me get a job. The project I will be presenting is my trip to the Basketball Hall of Fame. The walk there was a bit exhausting, but the inside was really fun and interesting, and I learned a lot of things I didn't know before. Enjoy.
This is where it all started. Springfield, Massachusetts, the birthplace of basketball.
Today, we visited the Basketball Hall of Fame to learn more about James Naismith, who created the sport we all know and love.
Hi, I'm Davian, and I'm interviewing James Naismith. How did you come up with the game of basketball, James Naismith?
In 1891, Naismith wanted to create a safe, fun indoor activity that his students could do during the cold winter months. He created the game at the now Springfield College. This is the first basketball, the first hoop, the first jersey, the first shoes, and the first rules.
The legacy of basketball has created various jobs within the sports industry, including commentators, referees, coaches, and more.
Besides the NBA, Naismith has even inspired locals to found their own professional leagues such as the 413 Elite. The Basketball Hall of Fame is an amazing place to visit because it makes the museum seem fun. Each year, the Hall of Fame in Springfield inducts the greatest figures within the sport of basketball that Naismith created.
Me again, back as Rodney. Rodney says, "Hello, my name is Rodney. I'm a youth media producer and upcoming freshman at Putnam Academy. A fun fact about me is that I like anime, I like playing video games, and I like to go out a lot. During the Media Lab program, I learned how to use studio cameras, specifically how to pan and tilt, and I had the experience to actually use a camera in an interview. Today, he will be presenting a video, part of the City of First series that we did at the Seymour Planetarium at Springfield Museums."
What do you do when it's too bright outside and you want to see the stars? Well, you go to the Seymour Planetarium in Springfield, Massachusetts. A planetarium is a large theater that projects celestial objects. The Seymour Planetarium in the Springfield Museum is home of the oldest American-made star projector in the Western Hemisphere. Planetariums can entertain and educate people on astronomy-related topics. Planetariums give you experiences of seeing the night sky and beyond.
This planetarium is so special because it is Springfield-made, so it's homegrown. It's also extra special because so many people have fallen in love with astronomy right in this very room. So it's not just for pleasure. People go on and make astronomy their careers. We don't have all the things we might want But we have one thing that everybody else wants, and it's this planetarium projector. Having a staff that's willing to innovate on top of already having this great projector and get them excited about learning science is a real gift to the whole city.
This is a production of NEPM Media Lab.
Hello everyone, my name is Diana Lisa Rizari. One fact that you guys should know about me is that I like to read. This summer, I learned how to direct and edit audio. I very much enjoyed my experience working for NEPM Media Lab. It allowed me to expand my social skills and go out of my comfort zone. It was very fun getting to know new people and having people to push me to try new things. The project that I will be presenting is the Hunger Awareness Project. The experience was very interesting and gave me an insight on what helping the community looks like. It was very wholesome seeing all those bags dedicated to these people in need, and it was very heartfelt hearing volunteers share their experience.
Today, we are going to be visiting United Way of Pioneer Valley at 1441 Main Street, Springfield, Mass.
Today we're going to be talking about Hunger Awareness.
And the work done at United Way of Pioneer Valley.
Not having enough nutritious food can hurt teens' brain development and mental health. The pandemic, rising living costs, and cuts to SNAP benefits are all fueling today's food insecurity.
We support anybody who is willing to come in our doors. Our mission is to mobilize community resources to meet the basic needs of residents of our communities. We picked these downtown locations because of research we did that found that these downtown locations are food deserts. There's limited access to resources. So we give out a variety of foods, primarily non-perishable goods, but we also give out fresh and frozen goods.
We work with partners like the United Way every single day. There are families and children that need these supplies and need food at the shelters. And so to be able to give a few hours to do the work to help make that happen is just incredible. It makes you feel really good. It makes us feel good as citizens and as a company to be able to support those programs.
This has been Herod,
Odyssey,
and Diana Lise, and we out.
Can we please have another round of applause for this team? So talented, so creative, and so hardworking. I look forward to seeing what they create next. It's been an honor to work alongside them this summer. They quickly became friends, journalists, videographers, hosts, podcasters, and more. The amount of learning and work done in the last 6 weeks was exhausting sometimes, but it took them from maybe not knowing what NEPM was to producing the projects that you all witnessed today. So congratulations to our summer 2025 cohort. I am so proud of you. I want to say thank you to our sponsors that made this possible, the state of Massachusetts, the Mass Cultural Council, and the Youth Works programs. Thank you, New Citizen Council and Mass Higher Holyoke for supporting our youth and assigning them to work with us this summer. Thank you to Mass Live and the Republican for giving us a tour of their facilities and collaborating with the students in writing their first news article ever. Thank you to our very own Elizabeth Roman for taking on editing all 11 articles and making sure that they are highlighted on NEPM.org. So if you go to NEPM.org, you will see that they have a byline on our website. Thank you, of course, to our guests that came in, Angel Rios at the Rally Cry Podcast. Thank you. Arts Integration Studio, Charles Evans with the 413 Elite, Chef Sonia Yelder at Super Sweet Sandwich Shop. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules and allowing these young professionals to interview you and trusting them with your stories. Thank you to Jill and Nirvani from our newsroom for supporting the students during our book authors series. Thank you to Jenny at the Seymour Planetarium, Lee at United Way, and Jackson and Will at the Basketball Hall of Fame for letting our young people go into your space and capture your stories for our short form video series. And I can't forget to say thank you to Lynn and Chris for helping us set up our space. You shout out thank you for letting us come into Studio B and allowing us to use that space in such a beautiful way to honor Jim. Thank you, Lena. And of course, thank thank you to all the families for being here. We couldn't have done this without your support, bringing them in early every day during the summer. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you for making this possible. And I can't step away with giving a special shout out to my team, Danielle, Darlene, Sarah. I couldn't have done this without you. You're amazing. I'm gonna miss having you as our interns around here, and I wish you much success. And I think John Sutton might want to say a few words before we wrap it up, or you're good?
Good.
All right. Well,
y'all said it quite well.
thank you, John. So with that, we have one last video that we want you to watch, but please make sure to stick around. We have Puerto Rican food in the cafeteria. We have a photo booth set up in the lobby, and there's a table up here with some stickers that you all can take. Please enjoy this last video and enjoy dinner.
Put the mic so you just like pinch it.
Okay.
It just
Hello?
It works, don't worry.
Why is it a lot harder than I thought?
Stay.
You can hold on to this or like put it under your lap.
Can you describe the program in 3 words?
I have what I want to say, but like it's more than 3 words.
You can do that too.
All right.
Fun, exciting, a lot of pictures.
It's fun, educating, and unique.
That's good.
Media Lab is welcoming, peaceful, and good energy.
Social, friendly, and teamwork.
New, exciting, and changing.
Media Lab is fun, Media Lab is supportive, and Media Lab is learning.
Media Lab is fun, Media Lab is educational, and Media Lab pushes you out of your comfort zone.
Fun, questionable, and exciting.
It's fun, exciting, and challenging.
Fun, interesting, and amazing. It's awesome. You get to meet a lot of nice people. You could just be yourself around everybody, and I just love that.
Can you start by saying, hi, my name is, and your name, and I'm a youth media producer?
Okay.
My name is Diana Lisa Rizari.
Hi, my name is Odyssey. I'm a youth media producer.
Youth media producer.
Youth producer.
A youth media producer.
Youth media producer.
Youth media producer.
Youth media producer.
Youth media producer. Youth media producer at NEPM.